7 after the hour, 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. Touch, not in studio today, but nonetheless delivering. Thank you so much to the entire Touchdown team. They do it again tomorrow. For the last time this week, today's Thursday, yeah? For the last time this week, between 3 and 6, and then we come in at 6 o'clock. It is Sports That Amplified with Andile. Hey, Masandawana, your team's playing this Sunday in the Champions League. All of those matches will be shown live. I think I saw like 5 or 6 matches this weekend, starting tomorrow, will be shown live on SABC Sport. So you can definitely rest assured that the SABC and SABC Sport has got your back as far as those matches are concerned. For those of you going to the stadium, do enjoy the stadium. Show up for your team. 20 Rand is what I see the ticket is going for, to go and support Sundowns out at the stadium there for the Champions League match. I do wish all of you the very best of luck in how you're going to fill that up. There's another big story that just broke. I mean, it's Deja Ellis calling up Banyana squad. And once again, Janine van Wyk has been called. I think I've said my point on this. I think I've labored at it. Even with Deja Ellis, when she came on, we had this conversation. There's obviously some sort of omen to her that needs to be settled. Because you disrespect your team, you disrespect your coach, you disrespect your nation in the way that Janine did after she had gotten the call up the last time. She still gets another call up, and we're told that no, what happened last time has been ironed out. And then the other one is Mpuminyende, in his conversation has been had, and she will get her turn as well, I'm assuming, because apparently her and the coach have had conversations. We're just giving these caps away at this point. Just giving them. Malcolm, you want a cap? We must organize. Do you want a cap?
Yeah.
Okay, we must organize.
Not Banyana. At least Bafana.
It doesn't matter. You're getting a cap, Chief. You're getting a cap. It's not after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. Today's conversation on a Throwback Thursday is an interesting one. Here's what I want to ask you. Firstly, you know, we all go to the July in Durban, to the Met in Cape Town. There's a Joburg equivalent of it. The Summer Cup. It is exactly what the Met and the what is it in Cape Town? The Met and the July, rather. Oh, it's exactly the same thing. It's the glitz, it's the glamour, it's the horses, but it's here at Turffontein, just up the road, here in Johannesburg. It's beautiful, it's amazing, it's the same vibe. But in doing the research about it, because we're going to be speaking to the first black winner of the July. He's going to be coming on the show today. We're going to be speaking to the man that rode that horse. But here's an interesting thing, and I wonder if you know this. Did you know that there's a limit to the amount of times you can whip your horse? And I hope it's called whip, but I think it's called whip. When racing. You know, I don't want to say they're hitting it because it sounds abusive, but you know when they whip the horse, there's an amount of times you can't just do it and I'm going to see you and hit it 50 times. No. There's an amount of times that you can whip it. There's a limit to it. You can't just do fucking spanner and just strip wire. So we're going to be speaking to Smanga about all things because he's going to be racing in Turffontein, but we're going to take it back on the Throwback Thursday to 2013, I think it was, when he won his very first race. Because not only was he the first black winner, but there's a story about how they seek out jockeys and find jockeys. And we've got somebody in studio who's one of our cameramen, Ncube. And I've always said to Ncube, I think he could have been a jockey. So Smanga's going to give us the measurements and the details and the weight and all of that as to how it is that you can spot a jockey from a non-jockey. So it's going to be an interesting one. It's one of those shows where we're going to learn together, you and I. We're going to learn something new about horse racing. So the next time you go to the July, to the Met, or for those of you attending Turffontein, the Summer Cup this weekend, you're able to know a little bit more than just which marquee was the best. Let's know a little bit more. Smanga Khumalo is going to be joining us. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Smanga's on the line. It's 13 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. Welcome to it. It's your favorite show of the week. It's Throwback Thursday, where we tell stories about sports on this show. You remember last week we gave you the story of Bernard Parker about his unfortunate injury, but it wasn't just that. It was about his career in the book that he's written, From a Shack to Destiny. Great conversations about, you know, his love affair with his mother, how the two of them persevered through some of the worst times when they had no place to stay. And how he promised his mom, one day I'm going to buy you a house, and how football enabled him to do that. Today, we go back to 2013. Because in 2013, Smanga Khumalo became the first black African jockey to win the Vodacom Durban July when riding Heavy Metal was the name of that horse to victory for a trainer called Sean Terry at the time. Smanga opened the doors for black riders like Abokabelo Matsunyana that we're seeing now. He now joins us on the line. Bling, bling.
Hello, how are you?
Bling, bling.
Thank you for having me and to all the listeners.
Smanga, man, I would have loved to have you in the studio. I would have loved for you to be sitting right next to me when we have these conversations. But I understand that you're busy. Were you training? Were you racing today? What were you doing?
Yes, we were racing today at the Val, and I ended up having such a nice day where I rode the winner, and I was called Valdosio. So I'm a little bit excited on the day, and it's always nice to ride a winner going to a big race.
Oh, that's nice, man. What is the race that you had today called? What is the race called?
It was a small handicap, but you know what? At the end of the day, a winner is a winner.
Oh, okay. So sorry, you have to say that again. What was the name of your horse today?
The horse's name was Valdosia.
Valdosia.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Because you've also got Sparkling Water as another one of yours that you've ridden. Oh man, Timmy.
The Vodacom 7 July. Hollywood Bet 7 July.
So at the July you were riding Sparkling Water.
Yes, in 2022.
Is there a horse that's got a black name? Do you ride? Is there any horse that you've ridden with a black name?
Yes, there is. There's a one that's called Ncube Spazane.
Ncube Spazane.
Yes.
I love that.
There's one very good one. It's Vungu Vungu. There's a whole lot of them.
It's Vungu Vungu. No, I like it. Spazane is my horse. That's the one I'm going with. But I mean, the reason we're talking to you and the reason we have you on here is to obviously speak about the race that's coming this weekend. But we want to start the conversation back in 2013 when you made history, really. But Smanga, I've spoken to you, and I know the history of where you come from. From those that are listening, I've got a friend of mine who, he's with me in studio right now. He's one of the cameramen here at the SABC. He's often wondered about how people become jockeys. And I asked you before, and I'm going to ask you again, how did it even come that you become a jockey?
It's kind of a funny story. I was always a small guy at my class. And we had, a small person they used to call us small. So they used to send me everywhere. And the one day I'm sitting in a class, and then the teacher comes in and calls my surname, come to the office, and then a little bit worried. So I got to the office, and I got there. There's a gentleman named by Mr. CBC, and he informed me about, do you know about racing? And I said no, and they said, okay, we'll like to actually do some measurements. We'd like to weigh you and do a knee measurements and then take your height, and if you are interested, just have a look, and we'll call you for an interview. And I was young, and I thought to myself, from Wamashu, let me try something new, and I went with it from then onwards. They asked me to do, and I went there. I passed the interview, and they asked me to come to the academy. And yeah, it was just happening. It was just happening so fast. Even me seeing the horse for the first time, it was just amazing.
How much smaller were you to your peers, your classmates, people your age at the time?
I was very small, but I'm sure my body, when it took the measurements, it really showed that, hey, this guy will never grow again.
Because there needs to be a certain limit that they look for. Do you know what those measurements are that they look for? How tall do you have to be? What does your weight have to be in order to qualify as a jockey?
I was 30 kilos. So they take any guy from 30 kilo who's 13 years old, and the height has to be 1.4, and obviously I think they have to take the knee, and they know which length they're looking for, and then from then onwards they'll ask you to come for an interview.
So you have to be 30 kilos or lower, and then 1.1 at most.
I'll say 1.4, 1.5.
Geez, that is small.
Yes, had 13 years, you know.
This is a 13, so they check the knee to see you had to see if there is still potential to grow.
There's some of us who has potential to grow, who have, how can I put it, who have, like, they've grown with riding horses, and so the academy sort of take them in and just to, because they are experienced in riding horses where I've never been on a horse before. And, you know, a horse weighs over 500 to 600 kilos, and and weighing 30 kilos, and, you know.
Yo, that is crazy. How much taller are you now, Smang?
I'm sure I'm about 160. I haven't weighed myself. I haven't actually taken my height lately.
So, and height? So you're not sure. You're about 1.6 and you weigh about 50, 60?
I weigh about 54 kilos.
Wow,
I have been riding for more than 2 decades, and, you know, I've grown, and I've got a little bit of experience that
okay, we're gonna put Smanga back to Timmy to try to sort that line out. But these are interesting conversations that I would have otherwise never known. Ncube, Sondela Fasla, before I take a quick break, please switch Ncube on there. Ncube, how tall are you? Ncube is our cameraman here, and he's if you're on my Instagram, you always see Ncube because uthala ngitshela ukuthi akathengi impahla ezinhle yena because uthenga ku 13 to 14. How tall are you?
Ngimfishane kakhulu hey.
Mari height yini?
Aboma 1 something.
And then you weight?
I weight 52, 51 lapho.
Awungangena boy.
Angizongena nyesa.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, we continue our conversation with the first black winner of the Durban July. It's a conversation I'm excited for. I always love it when I get to learn things and I get to educate myself as well. We're speaking to South African jockey and first black to win a July, Smanga Khumalo, who did so in 2013. He's joining us on the line now. He is on the road. He just came from winning a race in the Val. And, of course, he's going to be competing in the big race in Gauteng this weekend. It is the Summer Cup this weekend out in Gauteng at Turfentine. And it's going to be glitz and glamour, but also some horse racing. 23 after the hour 6 if you're just joining us. Smanga, thank you once again for talking to us and joining us. 2 decades later, after that incident at school with people coming just to say, hey, come and race, you get on a horse, and it's been glory since. I mean, you're one of the most successful black people to ever do it.
You know, from that time, I just taken the reins and said to myself, you know, I think this is my life from there on. And I've traveled all over the world, Hong Kong, England, Australia, and you know what, it's Mauritius. So just to ride horses and travel that much, I've never thought I'll also be seeing the world in this kind of way. And you know, horse racing has changed my life.
Tell me, do you love horses, the actual animal? Do you love them? Are you those people that sit with them and you brush them and you rub them and you give them, you know, hay and you feed them? Are you in love with horses, or is it the mechanics to which you do your job with?
To do something you love, I don't see it as a job, because I really love the sport and I love horses. Since I was small, I had dogs here by the house, about 10 dogs, and I used to look after them. You know, they're four-legged animal, and they listen to you, similar to the horses. You can have a lovely relationship with the horse just by sharing your positive energy towards them, and they'll understand where you want. And you know, it's just amazing how you can teach a horse, and when it comes to a race, and he's sort of like he'll feel the energy, and he'll do almost what you want from him in a race. So it's just amazing.
And, you know, these questions that we're asking might seem very silly to you, but to us, you're completing a puzzle to which we've questioned and asked for so long. One of those questions for me is, I've often wondered if horses, you know, almost like greyhounds. You've seen greyhounds race. You know, they say go and these greyhounds go. How big of a difference is a jockey in horse racing? Because it's the horse that does most of the running. How big of you on it is the impact of whether you win or not? Because if you set the races off and you said, hey, here's a thing that you guys are chasing, go for it, and the horses went and they decide who the fastest one is, how big of a difference does a jockey sitting on it make?
The jockeys control the entire race. Obviously, it's a massive because if you have to let the animal run loose, they'll go everywhere. So we are there to control and make sure that they're in a straight course rule, and most important, you have your reins to control, and the reins gives you more control, and also gives you like you can get them to go faster with the reins, and you can make them to go slower. So it's almost like your steering wheel to the car.
And I read something that I wanted to clarify. In a race, is there a limit to the amount of times? A friend of mine just sent me a text now, and he says, no, Andile, don't say whip, say spank at least. It sounds better, but I think it's called whipping. Is it called whipping?
It's a crop, but you're close. It is whip. It's called whip, not whipping, but it's a whip. In a nicer way, we call it a crop.
Okay, so when you're cropping the horse, right? Is there a limit to the amount of times you can do it between the beginning and the end of the race?
It has come down over the years. Where when I started, we allowed about 15 strikes. So they have SPCA who had complained and said, listen, it looks a little bit like, it's a bit harsh to the animals. They're there to look after the animals, and then they have to cut it down to 12. So you can only use your crop in a manner to help and guide the horse, because we sitting in a short strip, and where if anybody else that rides the horse with a long strip, they can use their legs to get the horse to go faster.
So as you're riding, you have to count to 1, 2, and you're concentrating on trying to win because you can't go over 12.
It's a bit hard, but we're professionals and we try our best. And I can assure you that the crop doesn't hurt the animal, because it's made out of sponge, and the people that make them, they have to be cleared by SPCA and cleared by all the horse care units to be able to use that kind of material on the animal in a race.
Cool. Have you ever gone over 12?
Yes, I have, and it just happened where you're riding, you're giving your best, and the only thing in your head is winning, and you have like a horse who's giving almost everything, and we all do go over, because you cannot ride and count at the same time. So there is a little bit of it happens. You go over. You're too much competitive to the next guy, and you just go one over, you go two over, and obviously it's just a spur of a moment. And the step in there is stewards, people who's like traffic cops, who sit and watch how you ride, and then if they feel that you over use your crop, and then call you in, and then they show you the patrol film, and then they say to you, listen, we're gonna give you a fine, and you pay the fine, and then you move on from there.
What was your fine? Because I heard it was about 14 days.
Obviously, I had my fair shares. I'm very competitive because of who I am, and with all the success that I had, if you are not competitive, you always be second. So I have my fair shares, which the trainers and owners always help out and say, listen, we can pay half. But yeah, I've gone over 13, and I got a fine for I think about 20,000 rand, and which was harsh. But and then I was off riding for 14 days, and this just also gives you as a rider give you a ride, like, how can I put it? Go back and think about what you've done.
Yeah.
And come back the rider. So it teaches you to.
Cheers, if you're just joining us, we're speaking to Smanga Khumalo, a South African jockey and first black man to win a July. Smanga, I can't dance. Like, I'm really bad at dancing. I have no rhythm, right? And it looks like one of those things where you have to have some sort of rhythm in order to do it, because it's the rhythm of the horse and yourself that you have to kind of sway back and forth towards. Am I overthinking it?
I think a little bit, but mostly it's balance and posture and balance. Once you have balance, you can do almost everything. And obviously, nice composure, and let the horse lead and you follow, because obviously the horse is born to run, and they're there to actually do the best they can to run, and you have to be there to just how can I put it? Just go with the flow.
Yeah, no, this is a history of Smanga, how he got into horse racing, and a little bit as well that you can learn from horses. But his biggest glory, his claim to fame, the reason that most of us stood up and said, "Hey, who is this man?" came in 2013. Smanga, what do you remember about the July in 2013?
Wow, all I just can remember was an awesome feeling where Heavy Metal crossed the line first.
Heavy Metal was the horse that you were riding?
Yes, was the horse that I ride. It was my first ride in Africa's greatest horse race, and beat some world-class jockeys who were the best at that time. And for me, I was over the moon, and I didn't know what it meant. And I think that was the moment where everybody saw who Smanga was, and it opened doors. And I ended up traveling overseas and just showing my talent. And, everything just been amazing just because of that one day.
Amazing. I want to take you back to that day. I've got the soundbite, the commentary from that day when you did it back in 2013 at the Durban July, when you and Heavy Metal crossed first. Have a listen to this.
Here's the roar from the crowd in the Vodacom Durban July from the 2200 meter marker, and let's see how they're going to play it. Pomodoro is on the outside, Wiley Horse just in front of it. Do you remember's at the rail? Heavy Metals with the red cap, that's about 8 lengths off them, then Shogun it, and down the inside Jet Explorer is at the front. Run for it is coming forward stoutly. On the outside Punta Arenas, Pomodoro's got a mountain to climb. Heavy Metals coming out powerfully down the inside. Jet Explorer, here's Heavy Metal. Do you remember? Run for it, but it's Heavy Metal and run for it. Heavy Metal's won it. Run for it second. Do you remember third? No worries, and Jet Explorer. What a terrific run from Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal, Smanga Khumalo, once again, he's risen to the occasion. Sean Terry, Smanga Khumalo, Chris Van Niekerk, they've won the Vodacom Durban July, a son of Silvano. He won it, it's his sixth win, and Heavy Metal, Smanga, he rises to the occasions for the big one.
Oh man, Smanga, did I just take you back?
It definitely gives me still goosebumps, and I promise you, when you have over 50,000 people screaming and chanting your name, and and you have 20 horses galloping, you become almost you can't hear. And it was also a big tribute to Tata Madiba back at that time where he wasn't hospitalized, and I even said to my interview, this is for Tata Madiba and the entire black population that we tried and broke through. But wow, I'm still grace to God and grace to obviously to the family that has stuck behind me and helped me to become the person that I even now.
Did you know at that point that no other black person had won the July?
I didn't know, but when I read back, there was a gentleman, one of the jockeys there, Gift Funega, who was also from Guamashu, and I did my you do a little bit of digging to see how how many people of color who has been in the July, who has ridden big races, and I found out that Gift Funega had his first race riding for Mr. An Indian trainer who was named Mr. Maharaj, and it was just amazing for me to see that, and it gave me that if he can do it, I can also do it, and then just put my head down and do what I was asked and put up performance, because at the end of the day, you still have to perform and use your head and everything. I'm an athlete, and the horse is an athlete. The horse trains every day, and I have to train every day. And when both of us have this confidence and knowing that we can cross the line first, it's amazing feeling when we do cross the line first.
I mean, we were excited for you. Although listening to that now, I'm like, hey, do you remember? What a name for a horse, eh? You beat Do You Remember? That's an unforgettable name, that. Let's take a break. When we come back on the other side, Smanga Khumalo is with us. We're reminiscing to 2013 when he crossed that line riding heavy metal and became a first. Hey man, Kabelo Nkwane, Kabelo_Pitori on Twitter. Absolutely enjoying the conversation and knows a lot about sport. Smanga, Utu Kabelo, Sparkling Water retired. That's the horse you rode last year, isn't it?
Yes, she's done so well, and what happened was she's like a multiple Group 1, and the male horses would like to cover her and make babies that can be as good as her. So she has retired. I have pictures of her at the farm, and with the grace of God, I am sponsored by the people who actually own her and bred her, and then also even now keeping it. So sometimes they send me pictures and say, "Wow, your girl is doing well," and how do you feel about her? I said, "No, well, still miss her at the track," and yeah, so Maurice Fontaine and Vochabas Drift, they're the one who has her. So yeah, she is retired.
So she's retired to go make babies because she was so good. She can bear babies that are as good. Okay. Okay. All right. So there we go. Sparkling Water. Talk to me about you and Sparkling Water last year.
So there was a lot to do. I had to travel to Durban and have my agent Monty Marimutu to help me, take me to the track and communicate with Mr. Peacock to say, we're gonna come down and work the filly and take it. Understand how she's feeling and going to the race, because there's 20 horses and we still have to have a game plan. And if I know how she feels and if I know that she's good enough, and then it's, as I said earlier on, it's hard work, but once all that hard work has come to the winning post and you first, it's an amazing feeling. And she is the first horse to win by 3 lengths in that race since the race has started.
Wow.
Made history, and I made history to become the first black jockey to win it twice, because it's a very prestigious race. It's very prestigious in South Africa. We have people from England, from Hong Kong, and from Mauritius to actually come for this one day and experience our passion of racing.
That's amazing. I mean, Jeebus, you just keep breaking these boundaries and stereotypes, and we appreciate you for that. Congratulations over and over, Smanga. Smanga, of course, is going to be racing this coming weekend as well. Speaking about what he's done in the past, as we throw back to 2013, the first time that he won the July, he'd gone to do so last year again. He's a double winner of the July. Smanga, there's a lot of people listening to this conversation who may feel that physically they fit this. There's parents that might want to put their kids into it. There are people that also, like me, are just curious about it. Is there money in this for the jockey? Do jockeys make, and I'm going to be upright about it, do you guys make millions?
It's really difficult, and definitely if you are that good, you can make money, because as I said earlier, there's 20 horses in a race and there's only one winner. So for you to be at that level and then try and run in front of 19 other people, that takes a lot of experience and takes a lot of difficulty and mostly experience. And if you are that, and then you definitely live well.
Okay, I like that. You can live well. This weekend, it's another big one. It's 136th running of the Summer Cup here in Joburg. For those that don't know the race, firstly, have you ridden this race before? What do you make of the Summer Cup in Joburg? I mean, the most popular ones, of course, would be the Cape Town and what happens in Durban, but the Summer Cup in Joburg also starting to come up in those social ranks.
Yes, I've actually won the Summer Cup in 2012, and it was my first big race in Johannesburg, being one of the richest race in Johannesburg. And it was a horse called Wagner, and I went to the front, and the trainer, Mr. Soma, gave me all the confidence. And I was working with the horse prior preparing it to the race, and I felt him going to the front. He will lead all the 19 horses, and they'll never come past him. And it was an amazing feeling that I could win that race, since it was one of the prestige in Johannesburg. And the plan really, really worked out well. I take my hats off to Mr. Soma, who trained the horse, and also to the horse of Wagner for making me the Century Summer Cup winner in 2012.
Workers' Day, Brogino wants to know, do jockeys aspire to own horses after their careers have ended? If not, what is life after being a jockey like? Are there any coaching opportunities, perhaps? Do you have your own horses?
Unfortunately, at this moment, no. But a jockey, once he retires, is allowed, and he can own a horse. And obviously, once you retire, you can't ride it. But you can own a horse and take it to one of your favorite trainers, or you can become a trainer. So life after jockey, being a jockey, you can become a trainer, or you can become the owner, or obviously, if you feel that you're fit enough, you can own the horse and ride it, which is it will take a lot from you at that time and age. But if you have the support of the family and they really want that to have a horse with you, and then in a race, that horse has to be ridden by you, not any other jockey. So those are the rules.
And here's the last one. This one made me chuckle a little bit. At Benzo Senior says, please ask Smanga if I can bet my salary on him, rain in Holland. Yes, there we go. Let me read that again. Please ask Smanga if I can bet my salary on Rain in Holland. I think that's the name of the horse. On Saturday. Where is Sparkling Water? We've answered that one. That won the Durban July last year. We've also answered that one, Benny. But are you riding Rain in Holland this weekend?
Unfortunately, she's one of the second best filly. She has retired. She's so good, and after the July she retired, and to go and make babies. To answer the gentleman's answer.
Which one is this? Rain in Holland.
Raining in Holland, yes.
As well as Sparkling. Smanga. When I buy my babies.
They're just that good. So we want more good horses in this. We want more good horses in this country. And once we have good fillies, and we have to take them to good colts that can cover them. And but this Saturday, I'm riding a horse called Billy Ball Legs.
Billy Ball Legs?
Yes.
Like Billy Ball Legs. Smanga, no. Billy Ball Legs.
Yeah, Billy Ball Legs.
Hey.
Bow legs, yeah.
Billy Bow Legs. Oh, like if you got bow legs, like muna kwekwenyan. Okay, Billy Bow Legs. Okay, I'm temba manje. Billy Ball Legs, but bow legs, I am all in. I'm all in. Talk to me about Billy Bow Legs.
So I am riding him in a Bedway Summer Cup, and I've ridden him 3 times, and he's really, really doing well. And the only thing I have to do is to beat the draw. And
Okay, no, Smanga. You remember, you're speaking to novices here. What does that mean? Beat the draw.
So we have 20 horses in the stalls, and we call it barriers. But to make it easier, it's the stalls, and there's 20 of us, and the draw is where a horse and a jockey are placed in. And if I'm placed 1, I'm drawn 1. If I'm placed 20, I'm drawn 20.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Grand Prix.
Okay, no, I see what you mean. Talk to me about this weekend, though. For those that have never been to the Summer Cup, how would you describe the Summer Cup? How would you, you've been to you've raced and won the July. You've been to all these races around the world. Talk to me about the uniqueness and what's so special about this one. If I was thinking of going and I wasn't convinced yet, what is it about the Summer Cup at Turffontein this weekend?
It's an unbelievable event, and Betway has done, and for racing, has created an unbelievable, how can I put it, market and vibe. And as you said earlier on, glitz and glam, you can come and as where you feel and come and support. And it's fully booked at the moment in the marquees and all that. And but we still have space for a grandstand. And there's one thing, if you haven't been in a race course, you come in, sit, just stand near the racetrack, and you feel the horses galloping, and it's an incredible feeling because it just happens within a flash of your eye, but you can feel the ground shaking. And once you experience that, I promise you'll join us in all the biggest events. So
the marquees are all sold out?
The marquees are all sold out.
Smang.
But we still have a beautiful grandstand, which is upgraded, and there's a lot happening. We have the DJs that are coming up, and Betway has really, really, really put their neck out to make sure. And there's awesome prizes. I think they are giving cars to public, and there's a lot happening, and it's just beautiful. And you have to see the world's greatest South African jockeys that you've never experienced, and
Well, it's absolutely amazing, and we wish you the very best of luck. I'm going to be watching this weekend to see where you place, and I'm hoping it's going to be first. You're going to win the title that you've won once before. Smanga, this has been an incredible conversation. We're ekaslam lapha kwamashu, ngwadiwe nolapha kwa-L. Mina lapha kwadiwe umdala, so nje isimashwini all the way. I'm going to be rooting for you. Thank you so much for talking to us, but also for breaking the boundaries of what black people can and can't do, of what it is that limits us and just encapsulates us in one thing. I wish you the very best of luck, and I can't wait to see what you do outside of your career. Just for interest sake, at what age is it an age thing? I can assume it's an age thing. At what age do jockeys retire?
Around about 55.
55 years old?
Yeah, 55, 50. We have, obviously, there's a lot of gentlemen that are listening that they know about P.S. Stratham.
Yeah. I mean, you beat him in 2013, you raced against him, yeah.
Yeah, he's 57 years old, and he's the master. And, to also be able to ride and beat that person who has all that experience and ridden over one of the South Africa's greatest jockey, and ridden all over the world. And it's just amazing the man has ridden over 550 winners, 5,500 winners. So it's just amazing that he's still here, and
absolutely
we can pick up some pieces, but we still have a lot of other.
Let's take a quick break. 1854, sobering conversation, one that has all of us in studio learning something, and we're going to try and see. Smanga, very quickly, how old do you have to be to start horse racing? Like, how old do you have to be to begin as a jockey?
Plus minus 14, 15.
Ncube khohlwa. No, Ncube forget. Ncube, how old are you? 35. I forget. I know. Lambile boy had it. No, Lambile. No more kappa. Smanga, thank you so much for talking to us, man. All the best for this weekend. We're going to be watching the race, and I'll report back on Monday as to how you did. Really appreciate your time. Go get your rest and enjoy the weekend, yeah?
Yeah, no, thank you so much. So now, I don't know if you still have time. As I was saying, there's 9 jockeys of color, which 6 are black, and it's just amazing atmosphere because we never had this kind of people of color together and be able to ride in one of the richest races in Johannesburg. So it's just another top and an amazing feeling.
Well, I mean, I'm going to live it through you. I'm not going anywhere near a horse. I'm not having 500 kilograms anywhere near me. Anything that can break me in that way and has its own mind, no, I'm okay with. But I'm going to live it through you, and I'm going to appreciate it through you. Thank you so much once again, Smanga. Smanga Khumalo, ladies and gentlemen, a history maker, the only black double winner of the Durban July. He did so in 2 separate years, 22 and in 2013. I appreciate you. 7 on the Mighty Metro FM. I got to get out of here. I've stayed too long. I've said too much. Jeez, Faith, this is how you get them. I'm out of here. Hey, lema para. Pela. That's all.